Gotta love that filthy, filthy bit crusher sound. Hotline Miami. A lot of you have been requesting me to react to this, so let's do it. This is a song called Sexualizer. Sexualizer featuring Flash Arnold. Interesting. Oh my god, this definitely evokes 70s, 80s funk vibes. You just gotta love that ethereal bed of arpeggiators, synths. It's just like an entire atmospheric vibe of that kind of sound. It sets a certain energy that is so much, very much associated with the 80s sound, the 70s sound, that mostly has this origin with the older keyboards of Casio, the Casio tone, or the general MIDI sound of the Yamaha older keyboards. Such a vibe. Wow, that solo synthesizer passage. I'm definitely imagining it being played live. A virtuoso keyboard player, a guitar player, simply just vibing, just shredding that keyboard solo on a guitar with all the pitch bends, with all the modulations and all that. Wow. I'm just imagining an entire packed stage, a packed arena, or a packed bar, what have you. Neon lights, strobe lights, disco lights, everything neon, and then just the spotlight on that lone guitar soloist. Yeah, what a vibe that is. Oh my god, now I understand why the title of the song is Sexualizer. No context, just hearing the music. That guitar solo, that is truly sexy. All those power metal, glam metal, solo rock riffs with all the best bluesy, jazz bluesy. Oh my god. I cannot help but, do a stank face to that, because those are the kind of solos that are just truly sexy to listen to. And if you're the player of that solo, oh my god, that is just immense. A truly sensual style of solo playing that is just wow. So much prevalent in the 70s, 80s style of music. And we still sometimes hear them in recent music that is kind of like a tribute to that era. I'm pretty sure you in the comment section could also cite some more examples of recent sounding or recently released music that has some of that crunch, grunge, dirty instrumental guitar solo vibe. But at the top of my head, I'm thinking Daft Punk, for example, as modern musicians who try to incorporate that 70s or 80s vibe, that sexy sound from that era. Oh, wow. Wow. A synthetic, synthesized, eclectic soundscape. I am an 80s kid. I was born 1980. I grew up in the era of the 80s to the 90s, but I only started becoming involved with actual musicianship in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. But I would remember that my dad would buy some Casio tone or Korg synthesizers or keyboards with similar sounding synth chord built-in programs where you just play one chord forever and it will just arpeggiate like it's like you're just holding the chord and it's just constantly doing this synthetic synthesized texture. It's just so much fun to play. I can imagine if you're in a band like this, similar to, I would say, Depeche Mode or The Cure. Yeah, those types of synth heavy bands. You're just gonna have so much fun just letting the synth technology let loose. You're playing simple chords, but you're letting the technology just build that synthesized soundscape. It's definitely a product of its time in a good way. If you want me to react to other Hotline Miami songs, or if you have other VGM suggestions, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I understand that Hotline Miami's soundtrack is kind of like Grand Theft Auto, or maybe classic Tony Hawk, or even Cyberpunk 2077, where there's a bunch of indie or independent artists whose songs have been licensed to be included in a soundtrack, not necessarily soundtracks that are composed specifically for the game, but the music director or the audio director decided that their vibe would fit the aesthetic of the game, even though they were already composed at another time, at an earlier time. We are still listening to this in the context that they were included in the game. Yeah, this is called Moon Hydrogen. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm such a fan of this. Such a simple, repetitive, rhythmic pattern, but immediately invokes movement, body movement, dancing, vibing. I'm doing it right now. Okay, wow, that melodic synth or that lead synth, such a simple premise of just playing around with the length of the notes and then there's staccato and there's legato, but just those two simple rhythmic concepts immediately change the vibe. Oh my god, I just realized title of the song Hydrogen, something to do with air, something to do with breathing perhaps. So this is like a musical interpretation of inhaling and exhaling. Never mind that it's hydrogen, not oxygen, but something to do with wind, with air, with gases. And the staccato could represent inhaling and the legato could represent the exhaling. It's just, a very abstract concept, but when put into music like this, it gives it a new meaning. I don't know. You tell me. Damn. Okay, that kind of music is simple as simple gets. Music doesn't always have to be about complicated key changes, complicated melodies, or like extremely dynamic chord progressions. No, sometimes it can just be about a fun, repetitive rhythm that plays around with lengths, staccato, legato, tension, anxiety, and excitement. It's just, this is a simple piece, and not in a bad way. Simple in that it's just like one rhythmic pattern, one chord. It doesn't even change a chord progression. There's no chord progression at all. It's just staying in the tonic, which is the home key, the home chord. But it's all about rhythm. It's all about fun. It's all about the short and the long. The short, long, staccato, legato, anxiety, relaxation, tension, relaxation. There's this ongoing interaction with tension and relaxation. And as a first-time listener, I can't help but just, vibe along to it. And I was like, what's going to happen? Oh, and then I realized, oh my God, the whole song is just this pattern. And suddenly, there are no more expectations. There are no more judgments. You just let the song be. You just let the song play and you just dance along to it. I just dance along to it. Because, sometimes life can be simple. Music can be simple, but you just go along with it anyway. You just dance along to it. You just go with the flow and you just let it take over your body, take over your mind, take over your heart. And you just be happy with what you are given. You are happy with what you have. There is so much to interpret with this type of music. Simplicity, there's so much deep meanings into it. And now here is a track, Daisuke El Huervo, also from Hotline Miami. Very curious to hear how this sounds. Let's go. A bit on the mellow side, but still drums heavy, rhythm heavy, a little bit of hip hop, ballad, R&B is what I'm getting from it. Gotta love that filthy, filthy bit crusher sound. Yes, tremolo, slow guitar solo, let's go. Wow. Yeah, it's another one of those like hydrogen, like, you know, it's simply stays in one chord progression, one vibe. But then again, it's not about the chord progression. It's not about the evolution of the music. It's about sticking to the same vibe. Vibing together, you're all kind of in a sort of musical stasis, in a sort of aesthetical stasis during the moment in the 2+ minutes of this song, you and everyone who is vibing with you, everyone who is listening with you, you are kind of living and breathing in the same atmosphere. For like 2 minutes in your life, you're all vibing together, united under a common vibe, under a common sound, a common aesthetic, a common beat. And during this moment, it is like time is frozen. Time is slowing down just for you to be united, everyone on the dance floor, with everyone who was just listening with you together in that specific moment in time. And this is one of the perfect representations of that unity in such a short amount of time. But you know, during that time, you are one. And that is the beauty of this kind of music for me personally. For more of my content, click here.